You're gonna do it again, aren't you? Ah, he's gonna do it again.
Oh, yeah, okay, I just killed another player with this barrel again. That's amazing.
What's up, guys, girls, and penguins? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna be watching a new video as we do. Chrono Odyssey is embarrassing. The reason why, it had a closed beta recently, I think last week, and it was kind of boring. Wait, let me show you my Steam stats on this game. I played it for 32 minutes. Sorry, that's how far I got in the game before I realized this game is fucking boring. I'm sorry. People keep whatever. Let's watch the video. Let's see what he
Wow,
says.
this is easily one of the coolest trailers I've seen for an MMO in years.
It was beautiful.
Sure, the game is being published by Korean developers who have a pretty shaky track record regarding monetization and game quality, but this time,
And that's the thing too. When I saw that it was Korean, I think it was Tencent or Nixon. I don't fucking remember exactly. I was like, oh yeah, this is probably good. But then like I played it and
the trailer looks so good that I might be able to put aside my previous biases and actually enjoy this game anyway. I mean, it can't be any worse than Lost Ark or BDO or Bless Online or Blade and Soul or Throne and Liberty, right? Right? Well, folks, if you wanted a game that utilized this New World's user interface and weapon system, but in a less functioning and poor manner while not being able to enter obviously open spaces with your ridiculous looking Unreal Engine 5 slop character creation, this is the game for you.
yeah. And that's the thing too. It's an the Unreal 5 when it comes to the fucking character. It's a good character customization, but it's also just the same character customization you've seen like every other Unreal 5. You know what I'm saying? It's good because it's Unreal 5, but like it's not specific to the game. If you see one Unreal 5 character, you see all of them. None of them, or most of them, don't even bother to change it, right? That's what
Or maybe you wanted to struggle to find where your quest marker was actually telling you to go, along with a bunch of other players who are also clearly confused, only to come to the realization that you can participate in non-consensual open-world PvP by throwing explosives at each other. Then once again, this game is for you. Or maybe you just wanted slow, janky, and awful-feeling movement with laggy animations in a world where the lighting needs to come with a seizure warning, and promises such as seamless open world made you literally Google the definition of seamless.
Yeah, when I see this open world thing, I was thinking the movement. The movement does feel like shit. I don't remember anything about the open world being seamless either. Like I don't remember it being seamless. Was it seamless? I don't think so.
Yeah, Chrono Odyssey. I suffered through this game's beta testing, so you don't have to. If you appreciate my sacrifice to the MMO gods, I would appreciate a like on the video.
I would also appreciate a like and subscribe on the video.
And you can even comment telling me how much of a complete idiot I was for letting myself feel even the slightest bit of hype towards this complete dumpster fire. Now, let's get into it. So, upon entering the game, you're met with a bunch.
And the thing is, I just want to say this. I know it's a beta, but if a beta is bad, why would someone go back? Like, if you didn't have fun in the beta to begin with, why would you go back to play the full game? You get what I'm saying? I see people
of cutscenes that we've already seen from previous trailers that were released for the game. In fact, a ton, even most of the cutscenes that I interacted with were actually scenes that they had shared in the game's trailers that have been released upwards of 2 years ago. The server select screen looks pretty cool, and I have to give them some props. The game's aesthetic is really where Chrono Odyssey shines.
It was really good. It was really beautiful. I loved it.
The actual art direction is super compelling.
Like when you went in the game, you're like, damn, this is gonna be such a cool game. Bro, you're thinking about all the cool stuff. Bro,
that's really interesting. But now, into character creation. You're first asked to choose between 6 different classes. Oh wait, 3 different classes, because the other 3 are still locked. That's fine. I'm not making this video to bash on a game that's still...
It's still an open beta. It makes sense.
In beta testing, having certain features locked is totally okay, and I can understand that. Anyway, each class has the option...
Wait, it's funny. Like, let me just say, you see this guy, like, I picked the swordsman guy over here, and I picked a default character, and it just turned out to be this guy over here. It was so funny.
Opportunity to use 3 different weapons, and 2 of those at the same time. I chose to be the swordsman, who can use a great sword, a sword and shield, and dual blades.
I just wanted to use a dual blade because it looked fucking cool.
And now we get into action.
Sword and shield and the great axe. I hated it because even when I was blocking with the shield, literally still attacked me. And I was like, what the fuck is the point of the shield then? I could just run around with a great axe being murderous.
Character customization. And I was kind of confused when I first saw this because prior I had seen...
There he is! This is who I picked! He's right there!
a ton of creators actually praising the character creation as if it's the best part of the game.
just
And
an
while it
Unreal
functions,
5.
certainly, it also just feels like every other Unreal Engine 5 character creator that we've seen this year.
Yeah, so it is good, but it's just an Unreal 5 character. It's not really the game has good. It's just Unreal 5 has good character. You get what I'm saying?
You have a ton of presets on the side with a black nondescript background, and you can hyper zoom in and highly focus on your character's face. This is just an exact copy of every other UE5 game's character creator that was
Basically.
released in 2025, with a bit of the typical Korean character creator aesthetic thrown in. Within minutes after adjusting sliders, I had created one of those Bored Ape NFTs. You can find my Bitcoin wallet in the description if you would like to purchase my non-fungible property. But really, after messing with my character's proportions to the point that he had tumors coming out of every part of his abdomen, which made armor look exceptionally ridiculous.
I'm sorry. He look kind of. It looks
I
like.
decided to take this game a bit more seriously. After all, I've been hyped for literally years at this point. So I chose one of the default options and finally entered the game.
I picked that exact character.
You're met with a cutscene showing a conversation between Kaya and Baldur. The graphics in the cutscenes are really nicely done, but as soon as it transitions to the actual game, the curtain is peeled back, as you're shown an extremely grainy world with running and attack animations that are reminiscent of every Eastern-made slop MMO designed to steal your money.
Yep.
Now, everyone is saying that this game is basically New World, but worse.
Never played it.
And I can understand why. I mean, look at the user interface. They basically copied New World with this sort of minimalistic style, and I mean, even the color theme of your quest objectives, the compass at the top, and the action bar are all pretty similar to New World. However, I think New World is so far ahead of Chrono Odyssey in terms of quality that it's quite literally...
Literally, they switched the game, and I still thought I was watching the Chrono Odyssey. It looks
comparing
like the reason why I finally picked up like this is the the bar different. Like I was looking at it, it's like this is Chrono Odyssey. Then I looked down, I was like, oh no, it's not. It looks the same for real.
Just a few months ago, I played another Korean game on my channel called Bless Unleashed, where I went through a very similar character creation process, and the overall feel of Bless Unleashed, from animations to combat, was much more similar, in my opinion.
Yeah,
just as a heads up, Bless Unleashed these days boasts a whopping 438 daily player peak on Steam charts, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Chrono Odyssey follows a very similar fate, unless drastic changes are made. Anyway,
exactly, like he said, Throne and Liberty. It feels like the combat of that game is like the combat of this game, and because he mentioned New World and the Blitz, I'm pretty sure there's same combat in those two games. Are they all Unreal 5 games? We need to check that out.
The tutorial, you're basically this high-level version of your character. You have access to all your abilities and a mount, which feels okay, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it has no weight to it, but it is functional. And you continue to run from cutscene to cutscene, taking out these flares. At this point, I decided to take a look at some of my available menus. You have an inventory, a character sheet, a skills tab where you can level up and learn new abilities for each weapon type that your character can use. You have a page showing your Chronotector, which is one of the only unique parts about this game, where you have 5 different powers that I guess you can level up and use, all having to do something with bending time. And furthermore, more interface and menus that are all basically uninspired and copied from other games of the same type.
Yeah, it's a beta, so you can't really... I was gonna say that, but like I honestly don't trust anybody, even when it comes to... They'll release the beta, see it, they probably will fix like minor things, but not the things that really made the game not feel that great. You get what I'm saying? Like I can't think of a beta that came out, I played, didn't like the beta, and then went back to play the game because like, yo, the beta was shit. And then when the game actually released, it actually was shit. So, I mean, there's that.
Anyway, this tutorial culminates in a boss fight with the guy we saw over and over in tons of the cutscenes and trailers. They've tried to make it a sort of Souls-like combat where if you get hit without dodging or blocking, it's pretty drastic. And the boss has a seemingly impossibly large pool of health. Luckily, in this fight, you have an NPC helping you, which takes up most of the boss's attention. However, I still managed to die. But it doesn't matter because afterwards you're getting teleported to the main game anyway. This chick shows up with her pocket watch and resets time, and would you believe it? You went back to the past before all this happened, and you're level 1. Who could have guessed that in a game about bending time, they would use one of the most stereotypical back-to-the-future-ass narrative directions in order to familiarize yourself with the game by giving you a high-level version of the character you're about to play. Wow, I'm impressed.
I mean, that's fine if you think about it. Like, just give you a tutorial about, hey, this is how you play the game, and then they just shift you to level 1.
Anyway, you're loaded into this creepy cave, and once again, one of the only things I seem to be able to applaud this game for is its aesthetic.
Yep.
I'll give them that. Everything looks relatively badass. However, this cave as an introduction to the actual game is hilarious, because it basically immediately highlights how awful and janky the movement really is.
Yep. Hated it. Can you even jump in this game?
By forcing you to climb upwards over a bunch of awkward rocky outcrops as you make your way outside. Your character's feet seemingly never make contact with anything he's touching, especially when it involves moving upwards or facing any sort of verticality. The animations don't line up with what your character should be doing and how he's moving. And honestly, it feels like a mobile game at times regarding the
Yes.
movement. Outside of the cave is a small crate. You press E to interact, and you're given some health potions that you can equip to a quick use slot.
I think I was having an annoying problem with the E when I had to press E twice sometime. But again, it's a beta.
I continued
I keep saying it's a beta, but I'm never playing this game again.
forward fighting some of these leftover flares, and I talked to the first guy who told me to keep continuing forward. And I even found Jimmy Kimmel. I did not know he was a fan of Korean MMOs. Now, I tried talking, which puts a message into the world chat, but there's no indication or speech above your character's head, so it's hard to tell when
Who's
people are
talking?
actually talking to
You'd
each
have to
other.
be
But I
directed.
continued forward, and you can use left control to sprint, which is kind of awkward on the hand.
It is.
I continued forward, kind of lagging into every
Because
new
you lose left. Oh, there it is, right here. You use left shift to evade and left control to sprint. So you have to have the little finger over. It's
area, as
awkward,
the
but it
game
didn't
claims
really.
to be a seamless open world, but these small loading screens that I was interacting with were way too obvious. Next up, you meet up with Kaya, who tells you to search in the chest for some armor, and this is the first time that I realized that pressing E to interact doesn't always work.
Oh, it's happening to him too. You see what I'm saying? Again, you people can say, yeah, it's a beta, so they don't. But still, if you don't have these things fixed, because what I'm saying, it's E to interact, so you're gonna be interacting with a lot of things, just blah blah shit. Why is it not working? And people again, I keep saying it's a beta, but I don't like that argument. Oh, it's a beta, it's not the finished game. Okay, they'll probably still do the same fucking shit in the finished game too. That's the thing. I need someone to tell me just one beta that came out that was bad and then the game came out perfectly. Just one game. I need to know it. I'd like to play that game.
Sometimes, no, most times, I had to press E upwards of 4 times for my character to actually interact with whatever the object might be. Anyway, with my new armor equipped, I followed my quest beam of light forward to this Eye of Insight. These obviously act as your fast travel locations, and every single one opens up a new part of the map. Unfortunately, whatever this cool animation was supposed to look like, I'll never know, as every time I interacted with one of these, it basically froze my screen until the animation was over. So I jumped down and made my way towards the coastal
I skipped it because cutscenes are boring.
outpost, where you're given some new weapons. You get 3 types, but once again, you can only have 2 equipped. I decided to check out and use the dual blades, as they sounded pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
it
went back
wasn't fun.
outside and fought some flayers, which
It was
got my
kinda
dual blades to mastery level 2, where you can apply a skill point and learn new abilities. Before the game sends you on another path up a weirdly obscure
I think that's when I stopped playing the game because I was more when I saw the dual blades, I was interested in the dual blades and I got the dual blades. Fought with it for a while. I was like, yo, this combat is ass. And I just left.
vertical area that showcases just how bad the character's movement is. Seriously, what is their obsession with forcing you to climb up the most non-obvious locations in a way that just perfectly shows off how janky everything really is?
Fucking
I guess
jump
this is
button,
how
too.
the game introduces
Does it
you
have
to
a
your
ju-
chronotector, which you can use by pressing C. This highlights the bright yellow path that you've been following the entire game, except for this exact moment when it's hidden, and you have to use the chronotector to see it. Now, so far I've had a lot of praise for the cutscenes. They've honestly looked pretty amazing. However, this one in particular was hilarious. This oddly proportioned hand stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Literally, this is probably what my hand is going to look like after having to hold left control to sprint everywhere. Anyway, after this land is cleared of the threats, everything is sunny and peaceful again, and I decided to test and see if the game could match my mood and I could end it all. However, even that, they couldn't get just right. I took a measly 500 damage and continued forward. However, due to the fact that there is seemingly very little to no health regeneration, some
You
undead
died.
pirate took me out in basically one hit. And that's death in Chrono Odyssey. This was actually beneficial for me as it basically teleported me directly where I needed to go, so the speedrunning strats are already getting chalked up.
Fuck.
I'm not gonna lie, at this point,
Yeah, look, his thing is still there. Sorry, I don't know why I needed to point that
I was
out.
already
It was
getting
just there.
pretty much fed up. I really had much higher expectations for Chrono Odyssey, and everything I had witnessed so far was janking.
Exactly. No, it's the fact that he got fed up with it like basically the same time I did, because I did the little fucking thing with the watch, right? And then I was like, yo, I'm tired of this game. It's boring. It's the same thing I did with Throne and Liberty. I remember playing another game and did that too. Evolved. Like, you don't need to be about with the full release, by the way. Like, in an hour in that fucking game, I was like, wow, this is an ass game. The combat's boring. The story is boring. And I just stopped playing it an hour in, bro. I hate it about.
Confusing, copied, and contrived. Put it this way, if you thought that Throne and Liberty was a poorly made Korean slop MMO, well, Chrono Odyssey is the exact same, but about 5 times worse. As I made my way closer to the first real town, which just looks exactly like the outpost that I had visited prior, the lighting started shifting, and doing that thing where the game is trying to transition you from slightly lower lighting to more. And in between, you have to experience a full-on rave, which you can control by moving your camera in different directions. After that, I was directed to participate in some crafting, and the game sends you to a blacksmith who gives you all the necessary ingredients.
Yeah, this is like, I never went this far.
And you use the weapon crafter. And you spend 500 gold to make some daggers. I'm pretty sure there's much more to this system, and it's probably a pretty in-depth part to gear progression within the endgame. However, the game thinks you've had enough of learning about crafting, and it sends you on your way to continue forward with the main quest anyway. There was also no mention of gathering either, so the blacksmith just gave you all the ingredients to make your weapon without explaining where they actually might have come from. Anyway,
I mean, that would make sense. It's a beta. They just want you to like get in the game as fast as possible. You get what I'm saying? Maybe in the full release they have a fucking fetch quest to get them.
you're sent off to find out about a cave. I came across this glowing shining orb known as a vault, but when I tried to enter it, it said this content is not available in the play
Then why the fuck is it there?
test. That's fair enough, but how do I get to this cave? You see, your compass doesn't actually indicate verticality in any way, so you can be on top of your quest marker, but still not in the right location. This
I get
is
what you're
normally fine in the vast majority of games that I play. However, this starting area for Chrono Odyssey is literally riddled with different levels of verticality. You have ravines and waterfalls and mountains that are constantly acting as blockers towards where you actually need to go. But after a few moments of running around aimlessly, I did eventually decide to try and hop down to the bottom of this ravine. Along my way down, I actually found a chest which had some items and some new boots inside, so that was cool. And eventually I made it to the cave where you find something known as a chrono gate. For some reason, this loading screen took an exceptionally long time for me. I want to say upwards of like 45 seconds before loading into a pretty small area. My quest tracker indicated that I needed to fight the 1,000-fold piercer, which
Again, you see what I mean? Like, a bad beta is very indicative of a bad game. Like, PoE 2 is an open beta, right? Open access, early access, I don't fucking know. It's not a finished game, PoE 2, and it's a fucking awesome game. 500 plus hours I've spent in that game so far. 500.
didn't seem to be spawning in. But then I realized that this wall is actually a giant door, which has a really long opening animation. So I made my way forward before seeing yet again another cutscene that's been featured in trailers and hype content. And does every boss just look like this? So far, that seemed to be the case. Anyway, I tried fighting this
I'm gonna say like this is just like a beta thing, because like he killed you in the first, so now you get the chance to kill him back, I guess. Maybe. Yeah. I don't think our bosses look like that.
He'll be piercer, stupid. I managed to do some damage.
Wait, did you get two shot?
Then I died. So I tried again and I died again.
You're not
the dude
dodging.
Can literally take out most of your HP in one hit if you miss a dodge or a block. I'm sure I could have taken him down given enough time and effort, but this was definitely not an easy fight. Especially for people who might be new to your game or Souls-like games in general. I don't see the average.
It is what you should be doing. He's barely doing any damage to the dude.
Being able to
and like he's dying
actually complete this. It seemed like this was my main quest, like it's what I was supposed to be working on. But I decided to leave the instance just in case, and I guess it wasn't my main quest, and it wasn't what I was supposed to be working on, as I once again had a beam of light leading me into a different direction.
You see what I mean? Like,
and I guess at this point, I got to level 4. So I followed this beam of light to a bound stone, which I guess acts as a place you can respawn and also as another fast travel location. I was told to use the bound stone to enter the citadel. I wasn't quite sure where the citadel was on the map, but then I saw it. Hold R to enter the citadel. Gotcha. Upon entering the citadel, you're met with more cutscenes, and Velia tells you to go to the Chrono Gate. I explored a bit around this citadel,
The Chrono Gate that you kept dying in, or
which honestly looks nothing like a citadel, and basically, it's just Chrono Odyssey's version of the Magnus from BDO. Okay. Anyway, leaving the citadel and following my quest marker led me to this house that had a blue glowing barrel outside of it, which I was able to interact with by pressing E about 4 times, and my character picked up the barrel. It seems like you can actually aim and throw the barrel and...
kill yourself.
Okay. Well, then I respawned and followed my quest marker again, and interestingly, it led me back directly to that same house. Now, you can't actually go inside this house. There's an invisible wall that prevents you from entering this obviously open space. I even got on the roof and tried to drop in, but no. And there seemed to be tons of other players around who had the same quest marker as me and were similarly confused. Anyway, I picked up the barrel again and I threw it, and...
You're gonna kill
did
someone.
that just kill me and another player? Did I just participate in non-consensual open world PvP in a game that doesn't feature open world PvP, at least not in this area? Wait, we need to go...
Yeah, I'm looking. Enter the Chrono Gate. Head to the camp located at the top. Speak with the Chrono Order. This one, I think this is his main mission, right? Enter the... Didn't it say like 63 meters? Doesn't it mean...
back and see if
like
that's
it's farther away? Is he not reading the quest marker good?
what happened, or if it was just a visual bug. Surely...
You're gonna do it again, aren't you? He's gonna do it again.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I just killed another player with this barrel again. That's amazing. Oh boy. Next, I helped some naked man down off the waterfall in Chrono Odyssey's rendition of the waterfall quest from old school RuneScape before he creepily walked away from me and hid in a bush. And that's when I actually realized that my quest marker wasn't telling me to go to that house in the woods, it was directing me back to the Chrono Gate where I had fought that difficult boss.
Okay, see, I knew that he wasn't fucked.
Because the Chrono Gate was so deep into the mountain from the side of the ravine, it appeared on the minimap as if it was above the mountain.
Oh.
That's why I got confused. So I went back to the Piercer guy just to have my ass absolutely handed to me again, and that's when I...
Yeah, I'm like, you level 4. You just leveled up to level 4. Oh, he's now level 5, but that didn't give you any like meaningful whatever.
I decided enough was enough.
Fuck
I
this
am
game.
so mad at myself for getting hyped up about this game. And these aren't just beta testing problems. This game obviously needs a ton of work, but I can already tell from my short time playing that it's just another sloppy, Korean-made MMO that despite not being a cash grab just yet, probably will be within a few years. Don't play this game. Save yourself the time and the money. There's already a fully released version of Chrono Odyssey that's been out for years. It's called Bless Online. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. A like, a comment, a sub, those things help a bunch. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider becoming a channel member. But I'll catch you all in the next one.
I end the video, guys. It was an actual good video. Let's see some comments. Hey, I hear you guys on the it's a beta argument, and I get that the game can improve from beta to launch, but let's be real for a second. The MMO genre has a long track of beta. Exactly. I hate you see the pin comment but if it's American, I agree with you, but you also could not which sounds more like a no one. He probably not gonna buy our review. Like, I don't get it. But you can also not play or buy, and then when the game dies, it's everybody else's fault. You get what I'm saying? People love saying, oh, if you don't want to play it, then don't buy it. Don't play it, right? But when you're giving constructive criticism on a game to say like, oh yeah, this is bad, you should probably change it. People are like, oh no, but it's a beta. Shut the fuck up. It's a beta for a reason. They need the criticism. You can't just play a beta and say, oh yeah, this is a great game. They need criticism to improve the game. Don't go with this, but it's a beta argument. That's a stupid fucking argument. Found this video to be surprising negative for a game that's still in beta. Okay, I'm done reading these comments. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys. If you think Chrono Odyssey will be a good game, I mean, let me hear. I don't know, it's gonna be shit. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video.